I'm basically an honest person, right? This is what Donald Trump said. What was it, the Flagrant podcast with Andrew Schultz? I am familiar with Andrew Schultz. I know that he does a podcast with Charlemagne the God called what is it? Brilliant Idiots. Brilliant Idiots. I've seen him around. He's a decent comedian. He does his thing. I I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was a Republican. I didn't know he was a Trump supporter. I really didn't. But it is what it is. He did an interview with Donald Trump. Wasn't a bad interview. Wasn't a great interview. Wasn't a bad interview. And I think it's a good look for him on his platform. Despite whatever it is that you feel about Trump, Schultz is definitely, that's a good look. Just to be able to interview someone that was an ex-president, regardless of how you feel about Trump, right? I think you guys know I'm nowhere close to a Trump fan or even, someone who would sort of endorse Donald Trump in any way. I never would do that because I do feel like he's very divisive. But I must admit, I did watch the interview. I watched maybe the first maybe 10 minutes or so of the interview, and maybe a little bit longer than that, but not long. I didn't watch the whole interview. I did watch the whole Kamala Harris Howard Stern interview. Trump, he gets off into his ramblings, and I suppose he was trying to put forth like this image of being someone who was just cool, and then he basically said something, right? He said the part that really stuck out to me, right? The part that stuck out to me was when Trump said that basically I'm an honest person, right? To a Trump supporter, right? Who happens to be a comedian. But the guy laughed hysterically, right? And you could tell when you looked at Trump that he didn't like the fact that the guy was laughing, right? So the guy doesn't have a problem lying about being an honest person, right? At this point, I don't even know what exactly. I don't know if he really actually believes his own bullshit. I'm not entirely sure, or what exactly it is that's going on there. But yeah, I kind of sat back. I'm looking and I'm listening to what this guy is saying, and he's saying I'm basically an honest person, and he almost got laughed off the show, right? I think at that point, you started to see how uncomfortable he was that the other guy was laughing, and Trump didn't see that as a laughing matter at all, right? Like it's almost like how dare you? Like you know what I mean? Like he was so focused on his bullshit that he was spewing that it's almost like he honestly believed it. Hold on, I'm gonna play it for you here. This is the flagrant interview that he did.
Basically a truthful person.
Hold on, let me start it
I
over.
have a hard time doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person. But and frankly, no, but frankly, I do a thing called a weave.
Right? So when Trump said he's basically an honest person, right? The other guy, Andrew Schultz, sat there and he laughed him off the park, basically. And it's one of those things, right? I think for the most part, I think even the people that support Trump, they know he's not an honest guy, right? It's one of those things where it's like I saw where Andrew Schultz at sometimes made an effort to kind of keep Trump on topic with some of the things that he was talking about. But it was just the rambling, right? And the nonsense and the stuff that he was talking about that I'm not going to say he didn't answer some of the questions. But again, it's just laced with so much BS, right? He doesn't strike me as the type of person who would want anyone else. And again, this to me was projection, right? When he was saying that he was actually talking about businessmen, and some businessmen, he doesn't see where some businessmen actually want their children to be better than they are, right? So, to be completely honest with you, when he was saying the stuff that he was saying, I will sit up here and say, yeah, that sounds good. That sounds great, right? And I think most men who have children really do want to see their children, do better than them, whether it be business, whether it be finances, in whatever aspect, right? I think that's one of the reasons why, even when Bronny James is not necessarily the best basketball player as yet, right? His father wants to see him excel, right? His father was willing to give him whatever push he needed, right? In order to get him into the NBA. You know, even against so many people that really didn't want to see him be a part of the NBA, right? But I truly believe LeBron wants to see his children be better than him, right? I honestly do think that. When I think about Donald Trump, I don't think Donald Trump wants anyone to actually be better than him at anything, right? But yeah, that part right there, I think his PR kind of sat him down and, started talking to him. Hey, man, you got to be a little bit more relatable. You got to tone it down a little bit. You got to be nicer, right? And the thing is, why he agreed, and big shout outs again to Andrew Schultz. Like I said, it's a big look for the guy. I do love seeing the fact that he's excelling and he's succeeding at what it is that he does, right? I saw another interview with that guy Bustamante. I thought that was a brilliant interview. So I think this is actually the second interview that I watched that wasn't on Brilliant Idiot. I've probably seen a handful of episodes on Brilliant Idiot as well, right? But yeah, I got to tip my hat off to Andrew Schultz. He did a great job, right? He did a great job in terms of actually acquiring the interview. However, right, there are going to be some criticisms. He may have asked him, right, in a little bit that I watched, he may have asked him some questions. He didn't really ask him any hard-hitting questions. He did ask him about Pence and what happened to Pence, right? And then Trump tried to do the bullshit thing, right, where he tries to bullshit everyone. And, he's basically talking about, what did he say? I don't remember what he said. Like, the guy rambles so much. I believe, hold on. I think he said he didn't do the right thing, right? Like, he was implying that Pence didn't do the right thing, right? I'm not sure if he was talking about in regards to the last election, the one that he really I think he thinks that he won. I I honestly think the guy thinks that he won. Or maybe he doesn't. Maybe he wants you to think that he won, but in actuality, that's not what it is that transpired, right? And Pence wasn't going for the BS, right? Pence actually has a backbone, right? And you have to give him that. When a man has a backbone, he has a backbone, right? And Pence actually stood on his morals. He's like, hold on, wait, listen, I don't think I'm going to allow you to force me or make me go against America for you, right? So I think Pence did in that regards, right? We don't agree with everything that Pence did or anything that he co-signed, right? Even though, again, he was just the vice president. He wasn't the president at any given point, right? However, in this case, you got to give him his dues, right? He didn't just sit back and let Trump manipulate him. Most of the time, right? When it comes to a lot of Trump supporters, they become blinded by whatever it is, right? Maybe it's the stuff that he says, the sweet nothings that he whispers in their ear, right? They just love to hear the sweet nothings, right? And it's easy because it's sort of like one of those things, right? You'll have some guys, right? And when they want a girl, right? What they'll do is they'll tell her anything that she wants to hear, right? They'll tell her whatever it is that she wants to hear. They'll play the part, right? In order to get what it is that they want. You understand what I'm saying? So when you look at the situation objectively, you start to see that, hold on, wait a second. This guy's really saying these things in order to just appeal to an aspect of me that will support him with his nonsense, right? The So that's what I get from Trump the vast majority of the time, right? But I will say, in terms of the interview, they at least tried, right? So he ducked 60 minutes, ducked off of 60 minutes because he knows 60 minutes is they're gonna ask you some questions, some real hard hitting questions. They're gonna keep you on your toes, right? And he went to an atmosphere that was more relaxed, far more relaxed, right? Younger people, people that are kind of, how would you say? I would say maybe you'd say more hip, right? Younger, appeal to a younger crowd because even though I believe Schultz is actually 40 or in his 40s or something like that, right? I believe him and Charlemagne are maybe around the same age. He does appeal to a younger audience, right? I would assume that the vast majority of the people that do watch his content are probably millennials, right? Maybe some mix a little Gen Z in there, right? So I believe he is trying to appeal to a younger audience and a younger male audience, right? So I believe Schultz is a Republican. Didn't know. I didn't know, really. I didn't know. I didn't know he was a Trump supporter. I didn't know. I don't follow these guys that much. Like I said, I did know about him prior to the interview. I do know that he has a show that he's been doing for a little while now with Charlemagne the God, called Brilliant Idiots. And occasionally I will tune in, but not even often, right? I watched a handful of those episodes. But yeah, I don't think it was a good look for him. But on the other hand, when I watched the Howard Stern interview with Kamala Harris, it was just a breath of fresh air, right? I look at Kamala Harris and I saw someone that was there, calm, composed, relaxed, spoke honestly, right? If you're asking her a question, you could tell that she's being honest about it, right? They asked her about F1, Formula One, right? It doesn't really have anything to do with the presidency, but this is just an example, right? So they asked her about Formula One, right? Asked her about Formula One, and he was like, do you really support family? She was like, yeah. And he's like, who's your favorite racer? And she's like, Lewis Hamilton, right? And it's like, oh, this is a no-brainer, right? And then she went into a little detail that would kind of show you that she actually does watch this stuff. I think the questions that were asked, if a person wasn't prepared or they were bullshitting, her uncut really exposed her. Matt, you can have a great night. I don't know what it is that you're talking about, to be completely honest with you. We're not gonna have any Kamala Harris slander in here tonight. So guys, please keep it cool, right? Regardless of who it is that you support, we're definitely not gonna come in here and have any Kamala Harris slander tonight. Okay? So it's one of those things. You're entitled to your opinion, right? But yeah, let's keep it P, okay? But yeah, I thought she was very honest about the things that she was talking about. I thought she was very cool and composed, very calm, and very motherly. And I know the Republicans kind of had this thing. There's this one, what was this, the Arkansas governor or something like that? The lady that sort of, I don't know what's up with that lady, to be honest with you. But wanting Kamala Harris to be humble, listen when I say this, right? It's simply her choice, right? Someone says, get your testosterone checked, brother. Any logical man cannot vote for Kamala Harris. I think you should get your testosterone checked, good sir, right? You're not going to come in here with any sort of that sexism, okay? This has nothing to do with testosterone, okay? A lot of you guys, you Trump supporters, you follow this guy around blindly. And Hitler had the same sort of effect over Nazi Germany, right? Whatever it is that he said, people just blindly just followed him. Never held him accountable, right? Fine. You got your little thing off, right? Get your testosterone check. Ha ha ha. Funny. It is what it is. Regardless of what you think about it, right? You're not going to try to bash me into supporting Donald Trump. You could say whatever you want to say about my testosterone level. You could say whatever it is that you want to say. It ain't going to let me support that man. You understand me? Right? We live in a country right now where things are changing. Forget make America great again. Let's make America better than it's ever been in the past, right? And I think a lot of you cavemen, you think that things are only supposed to be done one way, right? It's not. Okay? You can't come on here at any given point, right, and try to convince me to vote in any other direction. Because I see the two candidates, and I have a mind of my own, as do you, okay? So if you want to say, oh, get your testosterone, check your testosterone. How could you vote for a woman with testosterone? You know what? It is what it is. I think I spent a little bit too much time entertaining that foolishness and that nonsense. How could you vote for a man, right? How could you vote for a man that really doesn't even give a shit about you? Doesn't care about you. Doesn't care about the Constitution. Didn't he say he was going to rip up the Constitution or something of those sorts? Right? Doesn't care about the rule of law. A guy that said he's going to dictate. He's going to be a dictator. Oh, not every day, only on the first day. Right? And this is the guy that you want to vote for? I've played it before. I'll play it again. This is the guy that these guys are saying that they want to vote for.
You are promising America tonight you would never abuse power.
Last night in a Fox News town hall.
Or as retribution against anybody.
Except for day one.
Except
Look,
for?
he's going crazy. Except for day one.
Meaning?
I want to close the border and I want to drill.
That's
drill,
not. That's
drill.
not.
No.
That's not retribution.
I'm gonna be. You know, he keeps. I love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No. Other than day one, we're closing the border and we're drilling. After that, I'm not a dictator."
So
okay?
In America, in 2024, you have people out there that are willing to waste their vote on an individual who wants to be a dictator, right? Now, mind you, he said only on day one is he going to be a dictator. Does this man, are you that naive? Are you that stupid, right? To actually believe that if he had the ability to gain that power on day one and still gain your votes after you voted him into the White House, him saying that he's going to be a dictator, do you think he's going to relinquish that power at any point? Here we are in America, right? Whether you want to call it a democracy, you want to call it a democratic republic, whatever it is, right? Well, the power is with the people who elect these individuals, and i.e., yeah, okay, all right, fine. You got the Electoral College and they do their thing, right? But we elect our officials. In no way, shape, or form is that appealing. Does that appeal to any aspect of me, right? Because I'm not, honestly, straight up and down, I'm not the type that you're going to dictate to. I would rather lay in a ditch somewhere than have somebody dictate to me at any given point, right? So if you have an individual that's telling you from his own mouth, he's telling you that he's going to be a dictator on day one, this isn't something that I'm making up, right? We just played it, right? Because other people are going to be like, they're going to try to make excuses for him. Oh, that's not what he's saying. Oh, he's saying this. This is what he said, right? And he's telling you he's going to be a dictator on day one. But here you are, right? You put on your little MAGA hat, right? And you march yourself down to the poll and you decide this is the person that you will and sell your soul to. Well, I'm not going to jump on that bandwagon with you. Okay? And I know this is a little bit more intense than it normally is, right? Because usually my tone is a little bit more relaxed. So it's a lot more jovial, right? We got some jokes in there, right? But this is crunch time. We're getting closer and closer to election day, right? It's less than a month, right? It's not too far from now. Election is right around the corner. Okay? Now, everything that I just stated, coupled with what he just said directly from his own mouth about him going to become a dictator, right? Everything that I've said and everything that he said. We now have the power in our hands to say no. We're not going to stand for that. I would much rather anything else than to have somebody, elect somebody, waste my vote on this person, to have them now come and be a dictator. Right? As spiritual beings having this human experience, right? In a country that we have so much freedom, right? And I'm not going to say America's perfect because America's not perfect. Newsflash, America ain't perfect, right? But there are certain things about America that I am so grateful for, right? Number one, we don't have a dictator. Number two, we have certain constitutional rights, right? We have the amendment, right? This is a country where if you want to start a business, right? You're able to start a business, you're able to get your LLC, you're able, whatever it is that you want to do, right? And I'm not going to say, obviously, yeah, we still have racism, which is despicable. We still have sexism. We still have all types of isms, right? So we're not all the way there yet. But this guy's trying to bring us back. I'm not about going back into the past. It's about going into the future, right? What's going to lead us into the future? So let's get out of that mentality of thinking, oh yeah, like how things used to be in the past. Right? How things used to be back then. What did he say? Eusta is a rooster from Brewster. Right? That's not where we are anymore, guys. We're not in the past. This isn't the old plantation days. Right? I bet this guy would want to go back to those days. I'll tell you something. And I've said this a number of times before, right? And this isn't, again, fact check me on anything that it is that I do say, right? This man, in the 70s, right? In the 70s, he wouldn't rent his complex or his apartment buildings to anyone that was of color. What they would do is they would put a C on the application, right? In order to identify that this is a person that we do not want to rent this apartment to. And the C meant colored, by the way, right? For those of you who don't know. So what they did is they sent, I believe it was a DOJ, right? The Department of Justice. I believe it was them, right? Don't quote me on that. Again, fact check me. You could do your research yourself, right? So what they did is they sent testers, right? This part is actually accurate. They sent testers. They sent some black testers. They sent some white testers into the buildings. And you know what he said when he saw the black testers? Oh, what they said, there's nothing available. And when the white testers came, okay, yeah, we do have things available. So the apartment complexes that he didn't want to rent to the only places that he wanted to rent to black tenants were the places in Flatbush, or the one place in Flatbush, as a matter of fact. Again, do your research on this, right? You fast forward to 2024, and now the immigrants have become the new quote unquote blacks, right? And not just any immigrants, the ones that are the easiest targets, right? So who are the easiest targets? The Haitian immigrants are the easiest targets, right? So then they fabricate all of these things in the news, right? In the media, to try to turn people and manipulate people against one another. Again, Hitler did the same thing in Germany, right? How would you say now? Dehumanize, demonize, what have you, right? There's plenty of phrases that you could use in that, right? But you fast forward to 2024, and much like they did back then, this is what it is that they're trying to do. Again, isolate these people so that people could have like a us against them mentality, right? Treat them as if they're nothing and no one. And then you have these people and they say, oh, well, they're not here legally. But in fact, they actually are. They actually do have permission to be here. Be it they're here for a set period of time, but they actually do have permission to be here. And now that they're here, he decided that he's going to send them back once he gets elected into office. Right? Right?
Donald Trump is vowing to conduct mass deportations in an Ohio town following his claims of Haitian immigrants.
Springfield is such a beautiful place. Have you seen what's happened to it? It's been overrun. You can't do that to people. They have to be removed.
So you would revoke the temporary protected status?
Absolutely. I'd revoke it and I'd bring them back to their country.
What if they won't receive them they're not?
Well, they're going to receive them. They'll receive them. If I bring them back, they're going to receive them.
Okay.
So he's willing to revoke their temporary status, right? He is willing to revoke their temporary status, to revoke it, right? The temporary status that they actually have permission to be here. And he's saying that he's going to revoke that, right? This is the guy that you guys, why? Because some of you actually do share this ideology, right? And then you have the Venezuelans, right? Now, everybody that's an immigrant, everybody that's a Haitian, everybody that's a Venezuelan is not a negative person. They're not a terrorist. They're not gang members, right? Most people that are immigrants, most people that do come to America, what they want is they're part of the American dream. People come here because they want better for themselves and better for their family. So people come here, they send money back home. They take little dead end jobs and they take care of their family, right? For them, this is a life that they didn't have back home in their country, right? Are there some people that are here that are not here legally? Yes, there are, right? Are there some people that are here legally? Absolutely. Donald Trump didn't say, all right, the illegal ones, we're going to make sure the illegal ones are gone. He said we're going to revoke their status and send them back. Right? This is the same guy that said he's going to be a dictator. Fast forward a little bit. Fast forward, rewind, who knows, right? Rigmarole, it just happens how it happens, right? There was another instance, and again, guys, these are stuff, fact check me on all of these things, right? Fact check me on everything that I say, right? This isn't, they're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. This isn't one of those things, right? The guy says he's going to put tariffs on any country that decides that they're going to de-dollarize. This is the expert negotiator. This is what he's going to do, 100% tariff. Now, who could afford that? He's going to put 100% tariffs on any country that decides to de-dollarize, right? This is the expert negotiator. Instead of him saying, hold on, wait a second, give me a second, hold on, 1 second. Excuse me, sir. Look, before you think about de-dollarizing, this is what I would like to propose, okay? I see that your country is in need of this, that, and the third, and I have the resources, and I can help you with this, that, and the third. But here's the deal. You have to go ahead and sign this contract here saying that you are going to be with the American, we're going to use the American reserve currency or whatever it is, however you do this negotiation for the next 100 years, for the next 200 years, whatever it is. So instead of you going there and negotiating, you decide that you're going to create an enemy with another country to further not only isolate yourself, but isolate Americans from everyone else as well. Right? At the same damn time. So it's all good and well, right? If you're doing this, if you own a business and it's just you and you want to sink your shit, go right on ahead. Go sink your shit. Who cares? That's how you have the right to do that. Right? But when it comes to America, right? When it comes to our families, the future of this country, don't gamble our future like that. Okay? So it's not one of those things where you could bully other countries into submission and put your foot on their necks and feel like, oh yeah, we have them under control. We have them right where we want them. Because what that country is going to do is that country is going to say, hey, hold on. These guys over here, they're offering me something better and they're not treating me the way that you're treating me. Why the hell would I do business with you? When even if this is a 50% worse deal, right? Even if it's a 50% worse deal, at the very least, they're not threatening us with tariffs, right? They're not charging us things that we can't afford, and they're not making life difficult for us. This is the guy you want in the White House? That's the guy. No way. No way, shape, or form. Right? So it's one of those things. So little tactics that you guys are using, right, to try to play on someone's ego and, oh, yeah, get your testosterone and this, that, and the third. It ain't going to work over here. Because no matter what it is that you say, right, you ain't going to get me to endorse that guy. Right? That guy. I'm not pointing at myself, by the way. I'm pointing back here. Right? I'm not getting that guy. Right? And putting that guy in the White House. You understand what I'm saying? So yes, I am going to endorse a woman. I am going to endorse Kamala Harris. Right? We talk all this crap about equality and this, that, and the third. Now is our chance to actually exercise that. Right? So enough of that bullshit that you're talking. Okay? Give somebody else a chance now. He had his chance. Right? And then again, people want to, the economy, this, that, and the third. Listen, when it's all said and done, the economy, the global economy, not just the American economy, every other country was affected by COVID-19. Right? The whole concept of supply and demand. I talk about this so much. If I had 16 grapes left, right, when we used to have a multitude, but now there's a shortage of grapes for some reason, we can't grow grapes as rapidly as we once could, right? And I only have 16 grapes left. Now, listen, I got to charge more for the grapes. Because when factories shut down due to COVID, when industry shut down due to COVID, when businesses are losing money due to the COVID lockdown, right across America and right across the world, what happens is the economy, the global economy, suffers as a result of that. So a lot of people want to blame Joe Biden. Listen, Joe Biden is not at fault here. And I'm not even going to say Trump is at fault for what happened during COVID, right? We're going to be objective where this is concerned. The president, 9 times out of 10, he gets too much blame when things are going bad and too much credit when things are going great, especially in regards to the economy, right? And a lot of people feel as if the Federal Reserve is a branch of the government. It is not. Go ahead and do your Google search. And I do think Fed Chair Powell did a phenomenal job, right? With the soft landing and the way the economy is right now. Of course, it's not perfect, but guys, think back in the 1920s, you could probably buy a whole house for $1,000, maybe $5,000, right? Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, right? But definitely under $10,000, you can buy a house in 1920. As time progresses, cookies don't cost a quarter anymore. Right? As time progresses, you can't go to the corner store and have $5 in your pocket and walk down with 16 potato chips anymore. It's not going to happen. Right? Because as time progresses, what happens is the prices go up and also your pay goes up. Maybe not always as rapidly as prices go up, but at the same time, this is something that happens over time, right? Period, point blank. So a lot of people do want to blame Biden for it. Listen, as much as you want to blame whoever for it, it's not his fault. It ain't Trump's fault, right? Don't give them that much credit and don't give them that much blame. All right? So it's one of those things, guys. I think people don't really want to use their mind. I think people want other people to think for them. And then another argument that I hear also often, oh, she's been in the office for 4 years. She ain't the president. She will be, whether you like it or not, but she ain't. So all of this slander people do and this, that, and don't you guys have mothers? Don't you have mothers? Don't you have a daughter? Some of you. Don't you have sisters? Huh? It's one of those things. So don't come up here with all of this, that, and the third about this, that, and the third. Right? It's full time for us to embrace women in leadership roles. Period, point blank. Whatever it is that you feel about it, yes, we're naturally going to be leaders regardless, but be secure in your leadership, right? Maybe find a different way to lead as well. Embrace that. Things are changing. Times are changing. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah. We're going to hold Trump accountable, right? I'm not a minion. I'm not a yes man. I'm not a bootlicker. I'm not going to sit up here and try to stroke his ego. I'm not going to sit up here and try to, get on his good side or any of that bullshit. Okay? I'm going to call it what it is, right down the middle. And I know how it is whenever he feels like someone is his enemy. What does he tend to do? He tends to want to lock him up. Right? He tends to go on this hate campaign. Oh, he hates Taylor Swift. What type of man says that? I hate Taylor Swift. I don't even listen to Taylor Swift's music like that. I probably know 2 Taylor Swift songs. I've never in my life said, I hate Taylor Swift. It is what it is. She makes music for girls. Big deal. I'm not a big Beyonce fan either. She makes music for single ladies. Not just single ladies, but you get the point, right? And Beyonce made some really great songs. There's a few Beyonce songs I like. It is what it is. It is what it is. And I know I know it's going up. We have the MAGA minions. You know, these people. There's a few of these people in the chat right now. I know it without even reading the messages. I know they're here in droves, right? I know they got their little MAGA hate hat on, right? Ready to add me on the gram and send me messages in my inbox. I didn't like your opinion. Oh, I don't like this about you. Bro, I don't care about nothing that you have to say in regards to that, right? I actually laughed the other night when I had somebody add me on Instagram to just tell me, swear at me and all of that sort of stuff. It let me know, yes, I'm actually doing the right thing. I'm actually on a mission right now. It really struck a chord, right? I got to hold a mirror up in front of someone and they got to see themselves and they weren't happy with what they saw, right? So you know what they wanted to do? They wanted to find an outlet and they wanted to find someone to blame. And who better to blame than someone who's telling the truth, right? Someone who's telling the truth. And everything that I say, I can play the audio and even show you the video of what it is that I'm saying. So it's straight like that, right? So yeah, I ain't never gonna sit up here and come tell you guys that I'm gonna support Trump. It ain't never gonna happen. You understand me? And I think some of these minions, they think, oh, you know, I don't even know what they think. I'm not even gonna pretend like I know what they think. Some of them ain't thinking. Put it that way, plain and simple. Right? Wish I had some of my moderators in here tonight. Man, but it is what it is. We started the show way late, right? A lot of them are in the United Kingdom and different places. Big shout outs to DJ Scoot. Big shout outs to everybody who is being affected by the hurricane that's happening in Florida. And that's another thing that I really didn't like about Trump and the way he tries to use the hurricane as a campaign tool, right? So this is a guy with billions and billions of dollars, right? Now, mind you, all of what he said was bullshit, right? Mind you, that's an actual fact. But, however, stay with me here. Even though all that he said was bullshit, he's also using the pain and the hurt of these people, right? For some sort of campaign effort. I don't even know what to call it. Instead of him putting some of his billions and billions, some of his billions and billions and billions of dollars to work, right? How about you start a fund, right? How about you put up some of that money? How about you show them that you actually care instead of you running your mouth? So this is one of those things, guys. Anybody who DJ Scoot, I know DJ Scoot is over there in Florida, and he told us that he's going to evacuate. Big shout outs to DJ Scoot. Big ups to you, my friend. You did the right thing by evacuating, right? Those material things, the cars, the homes, all of that sort of stuff, these things can be replaced, regardless of how expensive it may seem, right? But your life can't be replaced. You are priceless, my brother. And anyone who is in there in Florida right now that's being affected by the current hurricane, Milton, I believe is the name of the hurricane. I think it is Milton because someone actually did mention it tonight. And I thought they were actually talking. You know what? Yeah. But yeah. So, yeah, I don't think that's something that we should take lightly or we should make fun of or that we should try to use. Right. And it's one of those things. No one can sit up here and tell me that Donald Trump is not a liar. Right. He went on a podcast with people, right, that actually support him. Right. These people actually support Donald Trump. And Donald Trump went on his podcast. And when Donald Trump says, I think I'm an honest man. Oh my God. I'm basically, what did he say? I'm basically okay, we're going to play the audio. Okay, let's play it.
I'm doing it to them because I'm basically a truthful person. But frankly, I do a thing called a weave, and there are those that are fair that say, This guy is so genius. And then others would say, oh, he rambled. I don't ramble. If I start a story, what you do is you weave things and you do it. You have to have certain things. You need an extraordinary memory because you have to come back to where you started.
Yes.
You always, a weave is only good if you come back.
Basically, what did he say? I'm basically okay, we're going to play the audio. Okay.
I'm basically a truthful person, right? And what happened? They laughed him off the show practically, right? They still kept on going. And mind you, these are people that actually do support Trump, right? These are people that actually do support Trump. But it's one of those things, right? I got to commend them for that. I would do the same thing as well, right? Yesterday, let's not confuse the 2 days because it's now 2:14 a.m., right? So yesterday, right, I was in this particular city in New York State, right? I'm not going to tell you guys precisely where it is that I was. But I saw this guy holding this banner up, right, talking about Democrats, basically bad-mouthing Democrats and Democratic media and this, that, and the third, right? And endorsing Trump. And talking about the misinformation that's being spread on the other side, right? And I sat there, I shit you not. I sat there and I was in the car and I was just laughing my ass off. I was just laughing. I couldn't believe. And then the idiot decided that he was going to come close to the car and hold the sign, right? Tried to make eye contact with me, but I'm just looking at the sign laughing. And then I turned my head this way. And here he is. It's like he's coming closer to try to show me the sign. I'm like, I already see the sign. I saw the sign. And it was funny to me. Right? And then I went on about my business. Right? Because this is what they do. Whenever this guy tells a lie, another lie, right? What they do is they make excuses for him. They make excuses for him, right? They enable him, right? They don't hold him accountable, right? And then they look at it like it's an us versus them thing, when it's not, right? Country over political party, country over politics all day long, right? And Liz Cheney is actually showing you guys what country over party means, right? Those ex-presidents that are not endorsing Trump are showing you what country over party means. Mike Pence, who was his former running mate, is showing you what country over party means. So regardless of your political affiliation, right, I could really care less. Let's not make it one of those things where you try to bullshit yourself, because you're really just fooling yourself if you think that Donald Trump is an honest man or a truthful person. I honestly, I take it with a grain of salt, anything that I hear out of his mouth. And I can't really listen to the rambling for too much time, right? So I always try to find something else to do in the interim. And I know we have quite a bit of people that are in here that are Trump supporters. It is what it is, right? Someone says, you are a little bitter girl. Well, guess what, old man? You're out of here. You're a bitter old man. There you go. How about that? A bitter old man calling me a bitter little girl. Oh, man. Oh, man. I would say what I want to say, but I'm going to keep this professional, right? I'm not going to send you up under your mother. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not going to tell you to SYM. Any yardies, y'all know what it is that I'm saying, because I will tell you to go SYM, right? But we're just going to keep it professional, right? We're going to keep it professional, and we're just going to get you up out of here. But it is what it is, right? Guy with a gray beard comes in here and wants to act like a little child. It is what it is. I see Fascist. I see, ooh, you so nasty. Okay, I see that. Yeah, please find something else to do. How about you find something else to do? I'll help you out, Robert. Bye-bye. You guys are actually here watching me. I know we got the MAGA faithful in here that are here watching what it is that I have to say, right? That are typing at their little keyboard. This is them with their keyboard. Oh, I'll show him. I'm going to type this message really hard and I'll really show him. You're a keyboard warrior. And nothing that you say in here, absolutely nothing that you say in here is going to strike fear into my heart or is going to stop this movement. Right? There's nothing that you could do or say to me that I will be afraid of. Okay? The marathon continues and we're going to be here for a little bit while longer, right? Stay with me. I'm going to piss you guys off a little bit more. Oh, man. Country over politics. Make America better than it's ever been. Make America better than it's ever been. Somebody called me a fascist. Do you guys not know who you're voting for? Do you not know who you're voting for? And if you're not entertained, feel free to join another live. Oh, no. Yeah. Someone says stuck on the plantation. Yeah, you're out of here. Yeah, you're out of here. You're out of here. Stuck on the plantation. Watch your mouth. Watch your mouth. We ain't gonna have no dialogue like that in here. We ain't gonna tolerate that. You wanna come here with your little racism? Be my guest. Don't do that shit here, though. You understand me? You understand me? You're voting for a clown. You're endorsing a clown straight up and down. Right? Does that hurt your feelings? Ooh. Are you hurt by that? You're endorsing a clown. Donald Trump is a clown. Straight up and down and sideways. How does that make you feel? Does that make you feel like you want to January 6 me? You think that's going to put fear in my heart because you're typing messages on here? It's not. It's funny to me. You understand me? It's funny to me that you guys are endorsing someone that says he's going to be a dictator on day one. Well, he's going to dictate to you. He ain't dictating to me. You understand me? So that's who you want to go up under? Go right on ahead. Go right up under him. That's where you want to be. Right? That's exactly where you want to be. And I'm not going to say exactly how I want to say it because, again, I'm not one of you guys. Right? So it's one of those things. Big shout outs to everybody that's voting blue. You understand me? Big shout outs to everybody that's voting blue this election. Big shout outs to them. Right? We're not letting Donald Trump back in the White House. Right? Especially after what he did on January 6th. He doesn't deserve to be in the White House again. Imagine having an ex, right? And the ex comes and she keys your car and she goes into your house and she turns everything upside down, right? And she breaks your windows and she does this and that and the third, right? And she sabotages your name and she does all of this sort of stuff, right? What are you going to do now? Oh, honey. Oh, I miss you. Come back. Right? Got no backbone. Straight up and down. I'm going to call it like it is. Y'all ain't got no backbone. What? Yeah, straight like that. You think you hate? It's just energy. That's all it is. Energy can't be created nor destroyed. And I've told people that from the jump street when it comes to this. Energy is something that can't be created nor can be destroyed. So as much energy as you're giving me, you're actually helping the algorithm, you idiot. When all you got to do, because it costs you nothing to pay me no mind, is find another stream. But okay, since you idiots, since those minions, those MAGA minions, like to be little puppets on a string, right? Tonight, I'll be your puppet master. I'll be your puppet master. I have no problem being your puppet master. Anybody voting for that idiot is basically a puppet on a string. So if you want me to be the puppet master, I'll be the puppet master. I'll make you as mad as you want to be. As mad as you want to be. And I'll be in complete control. Completely detached from the outcome of your outrage. Does that make you mad? Are you upset? Are you upset? Does that make you want to find me and type some messages to me again? You guys are endorsing a clown. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. Hold on. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. Right? That's who you want to endorse. Someone who makes up stories, right? To try to alienate and dehumanize people. That's who you want to endorse. And you think your little messages are getting to me? Oh, God, this is fun. This is so much fun. This is fun. Right? Guy goes around and he does nothing but tell lies. He goes on to a podcast of nothing but people that support him. And when he says, I think I'm a truthful person, they laugh him right out of the podcast. And you could tell, when you take a look at him, you could tell that he was uncomfortable when they said that, because when he said that and they laughed, because he was just so serious and so stern. He was so stern and so serious, right? Avoided 60 Minutes because he didn't like the pressure. The hot seat would have got to him, right? So he didn't want to sit on 60 Minutes. Why? Because 60 Minutes, they're going to press you. They're going to press you, bro. They're going to ask you some questions you may not want to answer. They're going to press you. Oh, yeah. They're going to ask you some questions you don't want to answer, right? They're going to talk to you about January 6th. You're going to duck it. They're going to ask you if you really thought you won the last election. You're going to duck that. They're going to ask you about Jack Smith. You're going to duck that. Right? Because you ain't accepting no accountability. And you got these little yes men minion that hold you like a puppet on a string. And are scared to endorse somebody because he's a female. What type of man are you? What type of man are you? You're supposed to be so firm in your manhood that it's cool. Even if she got a good position, even if she's the president, it's cool. Ain't no big issue, right? Because it doesn't affect you being a man or your role as a man in any way, shape, or form. At all. No matter what. Be comfortable with who you are. Be firm with who you are. So why? Why are you so dumb, right? That you're gonna vote for someone because they got a pair of balls? Who knows, right? And the other one doesn't? What does that make you? Look at yourself. What does that make you? Ask yourself that question. Ask yourself that question. Endorsing Trump. Man, you ever think you ever gonna get me to ever vote for Trump ever in your life? It's not gonna happen. Ever. I'm never gonna endorse the guy. Right? So yeah, you can get on your keyboard and type all the angry little messages as you want, but guess what? Guess what's gonna happen? My channel is gonna keep growing, right? Damn, we grew substantially since the stream started. Oh my gosh. The channel is going to keep growing, right? People are going to continue to support the content, whether or not you little MAGA minions, you little trumpets are going to support it or not. Lost in the sauce, right? You think I care? Think I care about your little feelings? I don't. It is what it is, right? I care about America. I care about the country. I care about the direction that it's going in. And I know that electing him, we won't, not only will we go backwards, the whole country will be turned upside down. And everyone around him knows that he's not the right person for it, right? Imagine that. Imagine ex-presidents that used to be Republicans are not endorsing him, right? Bush ain't endorsing him. Can you imagine that? Bush ain't endorsing him. Bush ain't endorsing him. The guy that said they had weapons of mass destruction over in Iraq and sent troops over there. Bullshitted. He's saying that this guy ain't got no moral compass. Basically. That's basically what he's saying. Right? Can you imagine that? George Bush isn't even endorsing this guy. Huh? Bush. Come on, man. Cheney, Dick Cheney, Liz Cheney. They ain't endorsing. Liz Cheney is actually not only not endorsing him, Liz Cheney is endorsing Kamala Harris. Lifelong Republicans. Second, third, fourth, 1900 generations of Republicans. Because they're putting country over party. The truth hurt, don't it? Future got this one song, man. I'm telling you. That boy Future used to be so talented back in the day. I'm not saying he isn't now, but it's just, But I think you guys should go listen to this one song that he made. The truth gon' hurt you. Ooh, 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 the truth gon' hurt you. Go listen to that song. That song's amazing. That song is amazing. Your boy Trump, he saw 60 Minutes and he ran off. He ran away. He said 60 Minutes. No, I can't do 60 Minutes. They're going to hold me accountable. They're going to fact check me. No, it's not 60 Minutes. No, they're going to fact check me. You guys scared of being fact checked. Because when your whole campaign is ran off of lies, when it comes to facts, right? When it comes to the truth, you're scared of the truth. No, I don't want to be fact checked. Please don't fact check me. Right? This is the guy you guys think is all powerful. This is the guy you guys think is all powerful. Is this your king? Are you not entertained? Are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? I love the Gladiator. Have you guys seen the Gladiator 1? Trump reminds me of that one guy. Remember? All right, boom. What was the guy's name? Marcus Aurelius? Is that his name? Marcus Aurelius comes to mind, right? But all right, if you guys remember the Gladiator, right? So in the Gladiator, which I watched 20 years ago or so, a long time ago, and then I watched it again recently. But in the Gladiator, Russell Crowe's character, the character that he plays, the one that they were calling Spaniard, right? Spaniard was this great warrior, defeated a lot of people for his empire, and, he just did his thing. He was just a great leader, right? And now the emperor, the guy who's actually in charge of Rome, when he was passing on, he wanted Marcus Aurelius to become the next emperor, right? But he had this little yellow belly, little minion of a son, right? That didn't want to earn it. He didn't want to go out there and earn it, right? He didn't want to go out there and earn the vote. He didn't want to go out there and earn becoming the emperor, right? He wanted to take it. So you know what that little yellow belly minion did? You know what he did? That yellow belly nasty minion, the one that reminds me of that Trump, the trumpet. You know what the yellow belly did? The yellow belly went out and he did the unthinkable to his father. I won't even say it because it's something that's just so inhumane. And if you haven't watched the movie, you should go watch it. But he did it in order to become the emperor, because power was the only thing that he cared about. Right? the character that played him and how power hungry he was and how the only thing that he cared about was status and power, that guy reminds me of the same person that orchestrated that January 6th siege, we'll call it, right? Or botched siege, if you want to call it that, right? But the bullshit that happened that day. That's who he reminds me of. Somebody that would do anything just for power. Because it's all about power. He wants the power over the millions and millions of people. The millions and millions of people. Somebody says cocaine is a hell of a drug. We don't do drugs over here. Next, off of this channel you go. You can go do that somewhere else, all right? We don't endorse that sort of behavior over here. Right? Anybody mentioning any of that stuff, you're out of here. You know what I mean? Straight up and down. It's a shame. I have quite a bit of moderators. It's cool, though. They were here earlier today. But I did start the stream way later than I normally do. And I'm still here, still going. Right? But you know something? You know something? I think I'm going to be here maybe another 10 minutes, right? Because are you not entertained? Is this not why you are here? The Gladiator. By the way, Gladiator 2 is coming out. It's going to be with Denzel Washington. I know you guys are going to love that. Denzel Washington is going to be in the next Gladiator. I can't wait to see that one, right? The first one was an absolute classic, right? Creme de la creme. Beautiful, beautiful movie. Loved it, right? But the other one with Denzel Washington is also going. I know it's going to be a classic, right? Denzel was only in one movie that I really didn't like. What was it? The Tragedy of Macbeth. That was just a crap movie. I never thought I would ever see Denzel in a crap movie, but that movie was just crap. But yeah. Gladiator 2 coming out November, right? I think I will be taking another vacation in November. I don't even know where it is that I should go, but I'm going to travel the country, this beautiful, beautiful country, and we're going to celebrate Kamala Harris's victory, right? We're going to celebrate with the millions and millions of Americans right across America. The millions and millions of how do you say millions and millions of Americans all across all across America. We're going to celebrate. We're going to do a victory lap, right? We're going to do a victory lap. So I may be coming to your state, right? And you know, we'll toast. I don't drink alcohol, but it is what it is. We're going to toast. We could toast. We could drink some water. There's always some water close by when it comes to me, right? So we're going to toast. We're going to drink some water. Refreshing. We shouldn't have to pay for water, by the way. I think we shouldn't have to pay for water. I think water should be free, but it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to do our victory lap, right? And we're going to celebrate the victory of Kamala Harris, right? And we're going to endorse her as Madam President. Right? We're going to endorse her, right? We're going to give her her dues. We're going to salute her. We're going to tell her she deserves this. We're going to support her, right? And we're going to support America because we want the best for our country. And I know you guys do as well, right? Stop being minions. Stop being followers. Stop being bootlickers, right? Time is up for that. Be a man. Be a man. Don't be an insecure little wiener. Be a man. Right? Not an insecure little wiener. Meaner. Both. Don't be an insecure little wiener. Be a man. Be a man about it. So regardless of what it is, the position that the woman is in should never intimidate you. Right? It should never interfere with your manhood because you know why? Because you're secure. Right? Because you're a secure man. You're a strong man. So yes, I can vote for a woman and still be a man. I can endorse a female candidate and still be a man because you know what? I got a mother. I came from a woman. right? Sure, both of my parents created me. It takes two to tango. It takes both of them to create. But we all come from a woman's womb. Isn't that brilliant? So where do we get off having so much hatred towards women? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. I really don't understand. I can't understand it. Millions and millions of men out there are brainwashed and don't even know that they're brainwashed. Me? I love women. I love them. I love them. Right? I love the feminine. I love how feminine they are. And listen, you have some women, they are naggy or all of that sort of stuff, right? We're not going to get into that, right? But what's more beautiful than a woman? Right? God knew exactly what he was doing when he created women. I don't have a problem endorsing women. And I don't have a problem holding women accountable either. Right? Because the man in me is going to hold a woman accountable and is going to hold a man accountable. Right? So it's one of those things. I don't feel any less of a man for voting for Kamala Harris. As a matter of fact, I feel more of a man, right? Because I helped to put her in the position that she's in. Right? I wasn't a follower. I didn't follow this other one around. I'm not following men around. What can I do for you, sir? Fuck out of here with that bullshit. Pardon my French. I don't normally curse, but I do. Fuck out of here with that. I'm not going to follow you around. I'm not going to hold your balls for you. Pardon my French. It's not going to happen. It just ain't. It's just not. It's not going to happen. Be a man. Support her. Right? Play your part. Somebody tried to spell clown, but they spelled it with a V. Vlown. Learn how to spell, country tough. Get him up out of here. Bye-bye. Get him up out of here. This is for you, by the way. Take this on your way out. Take that on your way out. Oh, man. I love it. 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 This is fun. This is actually so much fun. This is so much fun. I have so much fun. I really want to go, but I don't want to go at the same time. So you know what? I'm going to spend like 5 more minutes. I'm going to read some of the messages this time because I know tonight was one of those nights that I kind of sporadically read the messages. I wasn't so indulged in it. I kind of was doing a little dialogue and the back and forth with you guys, which is absolutely fun. Yeah, thank you guys for the entertainment. Thank you guys for it. I was thoroughly entertained by some of the stupidity that I saw in here tonight. Right? And some of those people that call themselves men that think because you're a man, you're supposed to vote for men. I don't subscribe to that stupid brainwashed sexism bullshit that you guys subscribe to. Right? I know none of us would be who we are without a woman. I know none of us would be alive without a woman. Right? And the vice versa goes. Right? So women and men, we need each other. Regardless of what people want you to think, it is what it is. One doesn't exist without the other, right? And when it's all said and done, if you guys have a family or if you guys are in a relationship, the most important person is going to be the person on the other side, your other half, right? If you're in a heterosexual relationship, right? I know everyone is not, but, you know, some people, we're kind of talking about the people that are in heterosexual relationships, right? So the most important person is going to be the other half. The other half who is of a different sex. And both of you guys come together beautifully, right? You can contribute what you do with your masculine energy. They contribute what they do with their feminine energy, right? And it is what it is. And there's nothing more beautiful than that. There's absolutely nothing more beautiful. Thank you guys for everyone that subscribed to the channel. We just went up substantially. We are now in excess of 1,400 subscribers. I never knew that we would get to that goal so quickly. So I honestly, I want to thank each and every single one of you guys. Oh wow, Sarah was in here tonight. What? Oh my God, Sarah. Anybody that you see that you feel is being disrespectful that you want to ban at any time, Sarah, feel free to do so. Right? Sarah happens to be our Secretary of Defense over here on this side, and she does a phenomenal job, right? And Sarah has been doing this, guys, for us over there in the UK, right? And I couldn't have hired a man to do a better job than Sarah does, right? And Sarah is so dedicated to this channel, right? Sarah's here for just about any episode that I do. And she's so valuable to me. I really, honestly, truly appreciate her from the bottom of my heart. And I know I say it a lot. I know I do. I know I say it a lot. But I say it because I actually mean it. You get me? Because I actually mean it. Right? And I think you guys, maybe you've been hurt by a woman in the past. I've been hurt by a woman in the past. We all have. We've all been hurt by other people in the past. But I think some of us need to move beyond that hurt, right? So we're not going to hold every woman accountable for that one person that you got into a relationship with, or maybe several different women, or, you might feel like the current culture is what it is, right? We're not going to hold every woman accountable for what that one woman did to you and how she hurt you. Okay? So we can't hold Kamala Harris accountable for what your ex did to you. Move on from that. Man up. All right? I hate to say this, but man up. Just man up a little bit. Right? It happened. It didn't work out. It's cool. Yes, it hurts. Pick it up. It may take some time, but toughen up. You know what I mean? And massive shout out to everybody that's out there that subscribed to the channel. I thank you guys so much. Dominique Bay says he's not going to answer anything. Yeah, you're right. I'm not going to answer anything tonight. I did answer quite a bit, though. I spoke to some of the trolls that were doing the back and forth. And that was kind of fun. That was entertaining, and that was fun. I did get the opportunity to ban a few people. I don't get it. It costs you nothing to pay no mind to somebody that you don't agree with. But here you are giving your energy to me, and you don't even know that it's actually making me a better and more entertaining podcaster, right? Because now I realize that you're triggered by what it is that I'm saying, right? So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to turn up the pressure on you, right? And I'm going to have fun doing it. Sort of like how Kamala Harris had fun, how she was putting that guy on like a puppet on a string when it came to the debate. You guys remember the debate? Man, she schooled him so bad that he thought he was getting jumped. Yo, they said it was 3 versus 1, right? They said it was 3v1. Imagine that. You getting whipped so bad that you think 3 people are beating your ass. Imagine that. So it's one of those things, guys. Yeah. So it was sort of like that. When you see people and they're extremists and they're just emotional, a bunch of emotional men, right? Some of them are old men as well. Some of these emotional men, they come in here and they, they type their little messages like this Forever Trillion, right? Who wants to troll? Hi, Forever Trillion. You put up your clown emojis. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're right. Trump is a clown. You're right about that. But yeah, these little plastic men who think that they are, it somehow makes them masculine because they follow other men around. I never understood that. And I don't think I ever will. I'd rather be in the company of women than being in the company of a bunch of men, to be honest with you. I don't see what men could really do for me. What can a man do for me? Nothing. Can't do anything for me. What can you do? You understand what I'm saying? So it's one of those things, right? And this isn't me trying to bash a man or anything like that. But it just is what it is, right? Like, I just would rather be in the company of women. I would rather be around women. It just is what it is. But some of you guys, you would actually rather be around men. And it's nothing, listen, look, it's nothing wrong if that's what you are, but just be who you are. Just embrace that aspect of yourself and just come out Come on out. This is America. This is 2024. You're free to be who you are, guys. Come on. Come on. Come on. Embrace it. Embrace that aspect of yourself. Right? And I have been hurt by a man that has nothing to do with voting for a president. Tiffany, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. You'd be surprised to know the people that I've spoken to directly in person. Right? And now they have this pent up resentment for the opposite sex. I had this one guy tell me straight up and down, I'm not voting for her because she's a woman. That's what he said to me. Straight up and down, I'm not voting for her because she's a woman. And he began to tell me about his exes and his ex-girlfriends and how his ex-girlfriends, they were just so emotional and so not rational and this, that, and the third. So if you're going to sit up there and you're going to tell me that that has nothing to do with voting for a president, I think it actually does, right? Because I've spoken to several people who have kind of repeated that same sentiment. So that's one of those things. So you could have your perspective, of course. Maybe it's something where you're looking at it from your own personal perspective. But as we can see, everyone doesn't necessarily think the same, right? So it's one of those things. And yes, the sex of the Democratic candidate has to do a lot to do with why some people are not voting for her, right? Because people are afraid of what would happen if she became a president. But she will become the president. What are you going to do then? I would much rather her become the president than that guy. Much rather. Someone says, okay, she's not black, so what? She actually is black. She actually is mixed. She's black. And listen, guys, I don't know if you guys have actually seen, but I can actually tell you because my last name is Harris. My family also comes from Jamaica as well. Yes, the Harrises do have different ethnicities in our background as well, right? But we're black, right? And I've said this before. My grandfather was like a Steph Curry type character, a very light-skinned black man, right? But he was still a black man. Kamala Harris, she's a light-skinned black lady. Still a black lady. But again, it's one of those things where it's like this, right? Beyond race, beyond what it is that you guys are talking about, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience, right? So even though we might look different on the outside, even though our lineage or our ancestors may be different, but we all share a common ancestor if you go back far enough, right? So it's one of those things. If that's what it is that you want to do to try to discredit her, that's false. Her father, Donald J. Harris, Jamaican man, black man from Jamaica. My grandfather, Frederick Harris, black man, Jamaican man, right? So it's one of those things. You guys, you spread misinformation all around the world. And you say it because it comes to your mind and it makes sense to you. But in actuality, you're actually a complete idiot if you choose to tell yourself a lie and actually believe that lie, right? So I'm not saying you are an idiot, but if you tell yourself a lie, right, and you actually believe that lie, what does that make you? JM says the truth don't need motivation. Kamala 2024, big up yourself. She's black and Indian. She's an individual, period. Bravo, Althea. Bravo. Yes. That's exactly what it is that I'm saying. She's an individual. Listen, no matter what race you identify as or what race they have you on as on paper, I'm so sure that you have someone that's in your lineage that isn't the same ethnic group or the same race as you. I'm absolutely sure, right? For the vast majority of people. And for some people, you just got to kind of just go back a little bit further, right? But we're not as different as on paper as you want to be, right? People have been, if different races have been having sex with each other for a very long time. Pardon my French and how blunt that I am. when it came to that, but it is what it is. People have been reproducing mixed children since before you and I and our great grandparents were born, right? It is what it is. Now, mind you, let's say, if you look at somebody like Cole Palmer, right? Cole Palmer plays for Chelsea. If you look at it, he's a brilliant football player, although I'm not a Chelsea fan. Brilliant football player. He looks like he's white. He really looks white. But his father is actually black. His father, he may be mixed, but his father's actually mixed, right? And his grandfather is darker than me, right? But he looks white. Type in Cole Palmer, Cole Palmer, and you'd be shocked to see what his lineage is, right? So it's one of those things. If, let's say you have two parents, right? One is white, one is black, right? And then, they have kids. That kid decides they're going to marry somebody, I don't know, maybe black or white or Chinese or whatever. Like, let's say, all right, boom, they have a son or a daughter, and the daughter marries somebody that's black. They have kids. Now that kid looks a little bit less like the grandmother or the grandfather, right? In terms of their complexion, those kids, let's say that kid also has other kids. Now the kid looks even less like their great grandparents, right? It just is what it is. That's just how shit goes, right? And I don't think I should have to spell that out. It's common sense, but people they don't use common sense. They use the capital one, right? They act like common sense is going to hurt them to just use it. Everything that's on paper isn't just on paper, right? Let's think beyond that. It's 2024, right? It's modern times. It is what it is, right? People, it's beauty in every race. There's beauty in every country, right? Regardless of where it is that you are, right? You can go somewhere. You could be in, I don't know, Indonesia, right? And you could see somebody and it's like, oh my God, she's the most beautiful woman that I've ever seen, right? And of course, the external is not the most important thing, but it is what it is, right? You may decide, oh, the attraction is just there. The conversation and everything is just so right. Oh, I want her to be mine, right? Or whatever. So you guys decide that you're going to start a relationship together. And you guys may or may not have kids. It may or may not work out, right? But it's just one of those things. It is what it is. Everybody's not boxed into the same perspective as you. Everybody's not an extremist. Everybody's not a silly boy. For everyone who was here last night, you know what a silly boy is. Right? Everybody's not a silly boy. Everyone's not an extremist. Everyone's not programmed. Right? Some people program themselves. Everybody's not programmed by that programming that they've been programmed since they were kids. And their family telling them, hey, look, don't talk to those other guys because they don't look like us. You fucking moron. Pardon my French. I do apologize for that. I'm not usually this blunt, but it is what it is. The night calls for it. Right? So it's one of those things. There's beauty, there's good and bad. In every race, right across the board. You can't just judge people by what they look like on the outside. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Look, I just saw Sarah. That's one of the reasons why I highlighted her name in blue too. Because I just love what she says. She's like, I love when you swear on AJ. Sometimes you just gotta just let it roll off the tongue. You know what I mean? You just gotta just say it like it is. And it is what it is. It just is what it is, Sarah. I love it when you're here and I love what you do here. And we just make a brilliant team, you and I. And I thank you for all the hard work that you do put in as well. Quit acting like Trump's policies and ideas are better than Kamala's because they are not. And as a VP, you support bills, you don't make them. Bravo, Marina Sanchez, bravo. Whoever you said that to, you put them to bed just now, right? So whoever she said that to, don't even respond. Don't even respond. Please don't respond because you're gonna make you're gonna make an ass out of yourself. To be completely honest with you, please do not respond, right? Because she said it and it's true. I co-signed that. My name's AJ Harris, and I approve that message, right? I approve that. Is that what Dominique Bass? Dominique, bro, Dominique. Don't sit up here and argue with the lady about that, because she's right and you're wrong. All right? She's right and you're wrong. Just leave it at that, man. Just walk away. I know it ain't Dominique that's up there arguing with you about that. She's actually right. Oh, no, she said Tiffany. She said Tiffany. So it's somebody named Tiffany. Okay, Dominique, my bad. My bad, Dominique. It's Tiffany. Okay, Tiffany. Yeah. Tiffany, you're wrong. She's right. You're wrong, Tiffany. You're wrong. Tiffany, you're wrong. You know what, guys? I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it at that. Tiffany has a hard time being wrong. I think she's trying to respond, even though she's wrong. She wants to be wrong and strong. She's definitely MAGA. She's definitely MAGA for sure. That's a characteristic of MAGA. Wrong and strong. All emotion and no logic. All emotion and no logic. It's actually funny. It's actually funny. It's dangerous, but it's funny. Anyway, guys, it's been a brilliant podcast. I just love it. I just love it. I love each and every one of you, especially Sarah. Right? Thank you for coming in clutch again, Sarah, and doing your thing. That's our Secretary of Defense. Big shout outs to all of you guys. Dominique, my apologies, sir. I do apologize for that. And you weren't the one that was getting it. It's really Tiffany. Tiffany was the one that was wrong, and she's actually right. So it's one of those things. You know what I mean? Just accept that you're wrong. It is what it is, Tiffany. Don't argue the point. Do not argue the point. All right? It is what it is. Right? Much love to each one of you guys. He says, I have one simple question. What's your simple question before I go, man? Hurry up, man, Dominique, because you really been at my neck tonight, man. And every message that I read is that you coming at me directly. As the kids would say, pause. Actually, not the kids. Dame Dash invented that bullshit. What's the simple question? I think Tiffany's actually a bot, guys. I do. I think she stole someone's profile picture and she's just botting. I think one of those things. I honestly do. I think Tiffany may actually. Yeah, she didn't type that in 5 seconds. You're right about that. She didn't. She's definitely a bot. You're right. She's a bot. We got it. She's a bot. She's a bot spreading misinformation. She's a bot. We got you, Tiffany. We uncovered you. The one guy it's taken forever for Dominique to ask this last question. I just want to know why she deserves to be a president. She deserves to be a president because she's not divisive. She deserves to be a president because she's uniting the country. She deserves to be a president because she wants to help small businesses. She wants to cut taxes. She wants to make sure that the billionaires and the rich people pay their fair share of taxes. She deserves to be a president because she represents the people of America, and she is one of us. She is one of the people of America. She's the changing of the guard, right? She's what America looks like, right? She's a woman. She's a powerful woman, right? She's a woman of color, right? But a woman nonetheless. And we're all about equality, right? So if we're all about equality, and if America is all about equality and we talk the good one, now it's time to actually prove it. Now it's time to prove that it's all about equality. Vote for Kamala Harris and stop being an idiot. Stop being a goddamn idiot. And thank you guys for everyone who has subscribed. You guys have really subscribed at a substantial rate tonight. Tiffany, stop botting. You guys take care. You have a blessed night. Thank you so much. Make sure you guys come back again tomorrow, right? You trolls, I got the energy. And I love it, right? I will troll you back, right? Except you're going to cry. It's one of those things. So don't troll me because energy can't be created nor destroyed, right? So I'll just take that energy and just... I love you guys. Bye-bye. Take care. Be good to yourself.